What is up, Virgo? This is your September 2018 reading. My name is Camille, and you are watching Millennial Tarot. Just wanted to do a quick plug that I am still doing my $5 readings up until the end of August, so I believe that's August 31st. I'm going to try to get these videos out at least 5 days, a business week before that, so you can kind of glom onto that special if you want a personal reading. If this resonates or does not resonate, even more of an invitation to do that. So I will leave my email below, and you can hit me up, and we'll get started there. But without further ado, let's just see what's coming up for you. The energies for Virgo in September. All right, one more. Cool. All right. So, this is your bottom of the deck. Big Virgo time. Big great time. So, before I even pulled the cards, I had a indication to want to tell you guys or ask you guys how you were, because your ruling planet Mercury was retrograde there for about 3 weeks, so it went direct on the 19th. It's still in a little bit of a shadow phase, so basically in the month of September you will be in the clear. And what we pulled kind of represents the machinations of your brain, or what could have been the machinations of your brain during that time. So we have the High Priestess as the recent past, or setting off the energies of the reading. And then we move into a present position of the Queen of Swords as a September energy. And then we move into the end of September with beautifully the 10 of Pentacles. And then what popped up to say hello was also the 10 of Cups. So, Virgo, very clearly, I can end the video in 30 seconds if I wanted, but I'm not. Because, you know, I talk too much. I'm your fellow Mercury Gemini sign. So, what happened was that Mercury is coming up strong. That when Mercury went retrograde, half of you took that time to really review and see what came up for you out of the woodwork. You know, when any planet goes retrograde, it's more of an inward time. It's more of a gathering ourselves inwardly, and not really making a lot of action or making a lot of decisions out here in the world, and rather just letting the information that comes from our own, soul, our own wellspring of intuition, kind of come out and leave the way, or just kind of taking those steps to review where you are and not necessarily take any action. So half of you are doing that proactively. And then the other half of you may have felt like everything is in the shadows, I'm confused, why is that person saying this? Why is that person saying this? Why is this happening? Is that a secret over there? Or people are telling me secrets. So, half and half, and I like how we have, light and dark represented here by the columns near the priestess. So half of you are kind of taking this time as your ruler, or the planet that significantly influences you rather, because you have a whole natal chart. But a lot of you guys are taking this Mercury retrograde and just retrograde summer, eclipse summer, to begin with, in a proactive way, where you've pulled the brakes, you gathered information, you gathered inspiration, because she's the card of inspiration, and you're letting that lead you forward. And then half of you were like, what is going, or maybe more than half of you, a lot of you, were like, what is happening? Nothing is moving. I'm getting all these conflicting information, or information that I didn't know I would be getting, or information that I don't understand, or I can't make clarity out of it. And then we move here into the September card of the Queen of Swords. Now this is your not fellow, but this is your, well, whatever, we're all sisters and brothers on this journey of life. So this is just an air sign card, so this is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. But the Queen of Swords represents discernment, and it represents, I'm making a decision. And it represents, I have this sword out now because I have authority over my actions and over my knowledge, and I trust myself, and therefore I'm making this decision. She's also a card of like cutting out the fat, cutting out the BS. So whatever was revealed to you or not revealed to you or withheld from you during Mercury retrograde season, or just summer retrograde season rather, the whole summer was a mess. That is when you're kind of taking that with I don't want to say with pride, but you are taking it with an element of assertiveness, and you are making decisions about it. You're making decisions to cut people out, to bring people in, to share with people, to not share with people, to if there was one decision that you needed to make and you didn't want to make it and you shouldn't have made it during Mercury retrograde, or you were just confronted with, I want to do this, but, life isn't letting me, I'm coming up against blocks. September then sees that clearing and the decision is made for you. And then whatever, this information is rich and it's leading you into this place where you then become materially rich. So the Ten of Pentacles representing richness in home, richness in fortune and luck and health, a happy family life, a happy physical domicile. Pentacles representing every single physical thing that we deal with in our incarnation here. So, home, car, job, money, bank accounts. This is all being made right. And you only get to this result by having gone through that confusion that was this summer. And then we have coming up to say hello, the Ten of Cups. So we have this perfect marriage between the Ten of Pentacles, which brings your happiness into a material realm, and then we have the Ten of Cups, which brings your happiness, into a more emotional realm. So once you get to this confusion, once you use the information in a way that you got that makes sense for you, that is when then life opens up to you and shows you its riches, and life becomes incredibly more clear. So to talk about the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the keeper of information. She is, between the Magician, who is the inception of all things, and after her comes the Empress, which is the birth of all things in the physical. And then in between that, we need to get our divination on. We need to get the inspiration on. The High Priestess also represents secrets. And I think this is you holding that scroll. Secrets, information, keeping tabs on people in your life, seeing how people are behaving, Virgo is very good at ingesting a detail and, building a full story out of it, or building, a more order out of the chaos. So a lot of Virgos were going through times where you were putting people, putting situations, or putting yourself under review. You're like, what needs to stay? What needs to go? Who's being honest? Who's not being honest? Who's not sharing? Or who's sharing too much? This is a very, with the Priestess representing knowledge and information, and with the Swords, a Queen of Swords always representing that third house of communication, the 11th house of networking, and the 6th house of daily routines. This is very much, those are the air sign houses. This is very much, having to do with social communications or social interactions, or getting out with people in your job or in your day-to-day life, neighbors, family, friends, people you are dating, and making a decision about who stays and who goes, who's going to serve you on this journey, who is not. Now, swords are also the inner machinations of our own brain, how we are seeing things, and all life is but a projection. So the brain then becomes, the projector, and what we see is the projection screen. So this is also putting your own thoughts under review, putting, how you see things, how you feel about yourself under review. This could be changing your mind about something, or rather having your mind made up very solidly about something and then taking action on that. So the High Priestess being that phase for some of you of like, I got this, I'm keeping track. And then alternatively, the High Priestess, really things shadowing over, things not being clear, things being left in this state of confusion. Now when Mercury goes retrograde and Mars was retrograde at the same time, and then all the eclipses that were happening next to Mars, or that one eclipse, there could have been a lot of miscommunication, degradation of communication, missing each other communication-wise, a lot of fights over text, a lot of technology breakdowns, just a breakdown of technical things that keep us in communication with each other. And for some of you, you could have taken as a time to say, you know what, the world is broken, so I'm just going to go retreat and just watch. That was for some of you. And other of you, you're like, I'm confused, like nothing means anything anymore. That person said that, I'm confused. I said that, where did that come from? So just being in the state of suspension where you have information, it's coming at you left and right, it's coming at you piecemeal, and you're like, how do I make sense of this? So the High Priestess coming in both to represent that lightness of inspiration, of information, and the darkness of being kept in the shadows, of secrets coming out, or feeling a secret, or keeping a secret yourself. And then we move into greater clarity. Now, the Queen of Swords has the utmost authority over what she thinks and over who is around her. She is very much taking from where the High Priestess left off and saying, High Priestess, like, here's all this information, do with it what you want. And the Queen of Swords in September then sees you saying, I got this information. You have to go. You can stay. I'm going to move over here. I'm quitting this job. I'm not even going to apply there. Fuck that relationship. Oh, I want that relationship. And you're really making clear decisions. And the Queen of Swords is a no BS queen. And she trusts her decisions. She trusts her logic. So should you have felt in a fog and a confusion coming into this reading, coming into September because of all the astrological movements, or just because of your life, if you don't see life that way, whatever, the Queen of Swords is then coming in to say, that is being made clear. You can trust yourself now. You can trust the decisions you're making. The Queen of Swords also coming in to say, you can trust what people are telling you now. During the Mercury retrograde and retrograde season and summer in general, to repeat myself again, people could have been saying some weird, funky things. People may have been acting weird. People may have been coming to you incorrect, coming to you corny, whatever is happening. And the Queen of Swords then sees them straightening up. It sees them correcting their own behaviors. She's a correction type of card. It sees you correcting your own behavior. If you didn't come correct, or if someone didn't come correct towards you, it gets sorted out this month. So this is really a month of no more confusion. It's a month of you see where everything and everyone stands, and you decide what stays and what goes and what's allowed to come with you. And you're just cutting out the fat. You're cutting out what does not need to be there. That is the Queen of Swords. So it's coming back in to empowerment by way of your own decisions, by way of what you know, and trusting that what you know and how you're putting it together is the correct story. And you get the full story now, where the High Priestess was kind of, maybe not, or the High Priestess was you being more in the background. The Queen of Swords then sees you coming out and saying, this is the story, this is what's happening, and therefore I'm going to do X, Y, Z, or not do X, Y, Z. But whatever you do or do not do leads you straight into happiness, leads you straight into bliss. Now, these cards are so beautiful and self-explanatory, but it just represents, richness with your emotions. You're now, you went through this place where you were ingesting and digesting information, and Virgo is kind of like that, that garbage disposal of always sucking everything in at once and being so analytical. And the Ten of Pentacles sees you, you are an earth sign, but you're the most active earth sign. But it kind of sees you being a little bit more relaxed, moving into your birthday season, moving into your Virgo season, where things start making sense, things start lining up. It's also a return to self, where your ruling planet was all funky and wackadoodle. Not only do you get the sun shining on you, you get Mercury coming correct. You get people coming correct. You get life coming correct. And it just feels more abundant. Feels like you have more space to breathe. The people are correct that you're attracting, whoever you want. I try to be as general as possible, but this is any situation in life. The job is more confusing, or you know the steps to take to get the job, to leave the job. You know the steps to take to get the person, to leave the person. You know the steps to take to get the money and to have and retain that money. So it's material richness then being mirrored by this beautiful internal and psychic and intuitive and spiritual type of richness, where your emotions then are being fed by your outward peace, or your outward peace is in feeding your inward emotion. So really the story for you here, Virgo, is trusting your decisions, trusting what you heard or didn't hear, trusting the people who showed their true colors, or trusting that when you showed your true colors, the people who stayed are meant to stay, but more so, you deciding who, what, when, where, and why. Right, no. You're just deciding who and what, rather, gets to stay, so that you can enjoy this in peace, It's a job, it's a financial situation that is then made clear, and once you can see through the clouds, you can see the riches. It's a relationship, or the lack of relationship, or a single life, or a dating situation that is then made clear, so that you can then walk into the relationship, so that you can then walk into dating and feeling good, so that you can then walk into your established bond and kind of fill it with riches and kind of see it grow. Money, job, and relationships are the top things people ask for. So those are the three that I always highlight, but of course this could be any situation, especially health or your physical body as well. You know, the 10, 10, 10 is beautiful energy. So this is beauty that's coming to you through the confusion, but really not just sitting back and letting the confusion wash over you and just kind of waking up from a coma and being like, what time is it? What year is it? And then moving forward. No, the Queen of Swords is like, this is a date, this is a time, that's what that person was doing, that's what this person was doing, this is what you were doing, now what are you going to do? So it's really taking back control of information and taking back control of your life and creating the story and seeing the full story now, and then ending with this, you know, fairy tale. It's a very, very beautiful ending. So, Virgo, this has been my reading for you. Of course, if you need more insights into your personal situation, you can send me an email below. Once again, $5 until the end of August, and then $10 afterwards. So I do hope to see you in my inbox, but if I do not, I will see you back here in October. Happy pre-birthday, and enjoy your Virgo season. It's looking very rich, very abundant. Peace.